Okay, we're back. Hindsight. I think this is episode 7. It is episode 7, I'm pretty sure. And we just saw Jackass Forever.
We're back, huh?
So,
Just like Jackass. Just like every franchise known to man.
Yeah, definitely. That's what wins. So that movie was weird. If you're a fan of the franchise, then I'm sure you will love it. You will absolutely love this movie. I promise you.
Bits that I've ever seen.
He was a Jackass fan. I really was not. There was a lot of dick. I will let you know right off top. There's a lot of dick. There's a lot of semen. There's a lot of ass. There is a lot of stuff like that.
With that shit, like, you're not gonna like it.
And I'm not saying if you're uncomfortable, just be ready for it. There's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the first scene.
No cap. There's a lot.
Giant fucking Godzilla dick. Like, if that doesn't get you ready for what's to come, like.
No pun intended. There is a lot. It is a whole lot. If you aren't ready.
I love that opening scene, though.
That was the most R movie I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
That was the most R movie. They earned that rating.
I can't think of anything that I'm even comfortable.
I had to use the hands. Fuck.
They had a lot of new faces.
Because they had to do diversity hires, obviously. They had to have black people and they had to have women.
They're just gonna try to, continue. It was like equal opportunity fucking. I could sense that.
Yeah, I like Jasper though. He's been doing it for a minute though on the fucking Tyler the Creator stuff. So that was cool. I didn't mind their cast. But the stunts were cool. Honestly, I was laughing. It was funny.
It was very hit and miss. There were some that were funny and then some that were just like, why the fuck did you include this? Like, it's just not doing it for me.
But a lot of the stuff was funny. A lot of the stuff was like, I don't know. I wouldn't do it, but it was funny to see them do it. And, I like they're committed. At the end of the day, I gotta say they're committed. And that makes it worth watching.
They sacrificed their own bodies, and I mean, I will say, there was, like I said, there was some that were really creative. There was some that were just like, oh, that's it. It was just like, get a fucking heavyweight boxer to punch what's his name in the balls.
Someone in the balls. Oh yeah. Some of it wasn't that great.
Like, they had done the fucking bull thing before. Like, it's like you've seen that. Fucking.
I'll say the time flew by.
Yeah.
The time flew by.
It made me realize how desensitized we are with YouTube now. Like, this shit used to be, like, you couldn't see it as easily. And now it's just like,
We see people get hurt all the time. It's called TikTok.
Yeah.
Like,
like Dude Perfect, or like, everything that goes viral nowadays. Not everything.
But a lot of things. Yeah, I don't know.
I wish Eric Andre was in there more. They like hyped him up and he was in like a couple scenes.
Hey, that's all they had to do to sell. You went, didn't you? Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's not much to say.
The character was great.
It's just a whole bunch of dudes.
Scene, like,
a whole bunch of dudes doing a bunch of stuff.
Like I said,
I was not a fan of Jackass when I was growing up, so this was a lot for me. I enjoyed it nonetheless.
Did you watch Jackass?
I've seen Jackass, but I didn't watch it. I mean, what I want to watch a bunch of white boys beating each other up for and shit like that never really appealed that much to me.
Have you seen Raka Raka on YouTube?
No, I have not.
I think they do it the best in terms of...
So they're just a knockoff Jackass?
Yeah,
were they in this movie?
No, they're Australian.
Well, that would have been tight. Well,
they go hard with it, but they do it in a way that's actually, they like weave a story into
off
it.
Topic.
But shout out to Rocky Rock.
I mean, but see, Jackass also did weave some stories in there. I like the stories that they weaved in.
They had a good balance.
The opening was a nice little story about the dragon.
They had a good balance of like legit like civilians, like unknown civilians, and like they had a good variety, is what I would say. They had some scripted stuff, some like more high budget stuff. The fucking windmill thing where they had to drink milk and like spin in that fucking wheel, and then it all of a sudden turned into like a fucking
paintball attack.
Yeah, like
it was a Dunkirk paintball attack. All of a sudden, that was hilarious.
Like, epic.
That was the finisher, and honestly, I was expecting more for the finisher, and it wasn't more. Not throwing shade on it, but it could have been a little bit more entertaining.
Yeah.
But maybe it could have.
I mean, I wish Eric Andre was more involved, because like I feel like he knows how to weave
story into humor. It's more of that bad grandpa kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they did have some of that, but they didn't go hard with it. And I think those were kind of the funniest ones. Like where bro like got shot up into the ceiling. That was hilarious.
Yeah. It's like, she's like, oh, he always does this. And it was like a real story, apparently. I mean, that guy, he's either a really good actor or that was like...
I like the toilet explosion. That one was pretty good.
Yeah, it's fucking absurdist humor. So if you like that, if you want to turn off your brain and just be entertained, it's a very good movie for that.
It legit is that. But there's going to be a lot of penis. Know that. Be aware. Lots of penis, lots of ass, lots of balls. More balls than anything, but a lot of it. So be prepared. Be prepared.
Lots of bees, too.
Lots of bees, yep. Lots of pain. Just generally, lots of pain.
Dude.
If you don't want to see people get hurt, don't watch it.
Like, it's kind of sad that this is like people, at the same time that I enjoyed it. Wait, first of all, where are you parked? Where are we walking to? Like the shit that like people enjoy and like makes people laugh is like the most absurd stuff.
Yeah, it was too bad those guys were getting so hurt from my entertainment.
Yeah.
Because they had whelps and cuts and looks like scars permanently from that shit.
I mean, I was entertained by it, so I'm not, complaining, but it's just an observation. It's like, yeah, like comedy. I don't know. What was the last comedy you saw in theaters?
The last comedy I saw was Jackass Forever.
Before this?
Jackass Forever.
So you don't watch many comedies?
Nope. So I guess this was a pretty short one. Wasn't much to say. I mean, there was not that much dynamic acting. There was not too many crazy environments. It was a pretty straightforward, goofy ass run around and jump off a shit and hurt yourself movie.
It's like when you study these types. I mean, not that anyone's doing any thesis on fucking Jackass, but I feel like the bits that hit the hardest are when you expect something and it slightly subverts it.
There was a lot of subversion, and subversion is comedy.
Yeah.
And they did it great. Even just the fact that he would have that electric shock thing, and they would just do that. If the bit wasn't hitting enough, you just add electric shock suddenly, and then everybody's like, ah!
Or Eric Andre when he's getting the fucking coffee
and just gets popped by that blow up.
It's
thing.
like, what can you do? What's not the obvious one?
I knew that was coming though. That was too obvious.
Yeah. But then they go back and someone else gets a coffee, and then there's one, and then there's another one that comes in the end. It's like, or afterwards. So it's just it's subverting expectations. Like it's like going over the line of what you would expect. Cause there's one that starts out with an electric chair, and then a bear comes in and fucking.
That was funny.
I was hoping for more there.
Well, I wasn't, because at a certain point, it's like, damn, I don't even want to see these guys get hurt anymore. Like, they just got the same people getting fucked up with the same shit. And I'm just like, dude, I don't even want to see these guys keep getting hit with all this stuff. Like, this is just, it got intense after a while.
Also, Johnny Knoxville, he's a badass, but, I feel like he could have done more bits with him. Do more stunts with him.
I'm sure he's hurt and has brain damage, and anymore would be risking his life.
Yeah, I mean, there was a scene right after the bull scene where he just comes out of the hospital and says I had broken ribs, I had broken wrist, I had a concussion, I had all this type of shit. It's Yeah, they probably. I mean, think about like at that moment they're probably planning out other stunts for them to do, and then all of a sudden, yeah, he's in the hospital, and you know, what are you gonna do? How old are they now? Like in the 50s?
Bro, I don't know how they were doing it. I'm sitting there watching this movie thinking they must know some type of secret in order to make the body turn into like some type of loose state where you can take damage. Because I'm like, how is this dude flying off of a little ramp into a pile of cactus? Like, what the hell's happening right now?
Yeah, I don't know. Fat people have that. They have extra skin.
Like, they were doing stuff. I'm like, hold up.
And the body is resilient, you know?
Bro, I don't know about all that. Some were lightweight, I mean, like the slapper, the bike slapper.
Was Knoxville, the one that got shot out of the cannon?
Yeah,
I mean, even just that force. The force of being shot, like...
He made that look so majestic, though, when he came out and then he spread the wings out. I was like, bro, you just killed that. That was awesome.
Like, most movies have stuntmen that, you know, obviously...
I wonder how much of that shit they had to shoot.
They have stunt people to like fill in for the, but like these guys, like
they're like
watching
stuntmen.
These guys
they are stuntmen.
Is like fuck, like they just go above and beyond in everything that they do. It's crazy.
It's also dangerous. Don't try that stuff at home.
Yeah. Yep. As recited at the beginning and end of the movie.
Yeah, there is an after credits scene. It's a warning: do not try this shit at home.
Yeah.
Because it's dangerous.
I feel like that's a fun movie to make, though. You're just like...
No, I don't, because you're just going to get...
after they shot everything, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, like the edit. All right, yeah. Haha, yeah, let's edit. Fuck on
It's like, which ones do I include? And
I
probably have a ton of...
holding onto a parachute and going off a jump onto the ground. Like, what? These guys are wild.
Yeah. A lot of celebrity cameo. Not a lot.
Not even a lot.
A few.
But the few were good. I feel like they did a lot of those kind of people who would go and do this kind of stuff, you know? Tyler, the Creator. Tony Hawk for sure. That was like when he came up in that era. For damn sure. Eric Andre, and that was all real guests I could even pull out. Really, I can't even think of nobody else. There was probably some other guys who I just didn't recognize. Like, yeah, he was from season 2, episode 3, but I didn't know none of them people. All I knew was Johnny Knoxville and Steve-O. Everybody else was, whatever.
A lot of animal stunts. Again,
bees and bears. Bees and bears and vultures and scorpions snakes. Oh, jungle man.
Yeah,
Oh, speaking of jungle, Max Caliber episode 7 coming soon. The cross promotion there.
Check it out.
Well, yeah,
really
wasn't
there's
that
not
much
to break down in this movie. I was like, right in the middle, I was like, okay, this might be a short
I was trying to come up with some stuff like, I think the cinematography is great. Like, nah, it was just wild. Okay, the slow motion cam was dope, though.
Honestly,
they were running that slow motion cam.
I mean, the current era of filmmaking and just like digital equipment, like kind of... It needed to. I mean, it didn't need to be made, but it helped because we had never seen stuff like that.
It looked newer.
Quality. Yeah,
for sure. Like the fart underwater and stuff. Like, you know, that was dumb shit for me. But when it did blow up and they showed that in slow motion, it was actually like interesting.
You should just add some classical music behind that one.
That was quite interesting. A lot of them were just interesting. I'll just say that. All right, I don't have a rating yet. I'll probably get this one somewhere around like
it's hard to rate.
Yeah, because I'm thinking 7 still, just because I was entertained, but there was nothing to it. The time went by fast. It was good. I don't know. I'll come with a rating. I go with a rating. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was just a bunch of white boys beating each other up.
Year? Had a story where like had to break someone out of prison.
Yeah, and I was hoping they were gonna do more of that kind of stuff in this. They were like Eric Andre. I'm like, oh, he just did that one film. They're going to be doing pranks on people. Bad Trip, that sounds legit.
Bad Trip, too. That's what we're going to have to wait for. But I thought,
like Bad Grandpa. That came out like more recently than all the Jackass stuff.
I mean, that was
probably like 4 or 5 years ago. I saw that movie. Yeah, I saw that movie. It was funny. It was funny.
Was the other Jackass crew in it?
I don't even remember. I think it was just him and that little kid. But they should have done more shit like that. And they did do some of it, but they just didn't like. It could have been throughout the movie. There could have been a real story arc to it. You know what I mean? But that's not even their style. They had to like stick to what they've been doing. I wasn't mad.
I think there's definitely going to be more, if I had to guess, because they
looked like they were introducing a new squad. Yeah, for sure. And they brought a lot of attention to the fact that they were like a new generation of jackassers.
Yeah, very diversified.
You know,
I guess it was. There's another point to bring up in that, like, I guess you can call it hazing, but they fucked with.
I totally was feeling like, yeah, it was kind of like that, but at the same time, like, it's not hazing if you're getting paid probably
right.
Nice
they knew what they were getting into.
$500,000 million.
All of them probably grew up watching Jackass and like.
And it was probably like an honor to be on the show. Yeah. I mean, like they were all like, "Yeah, dude, I'm making it on Jackass."
How do you feel about that? Because like, isn't that sort of taking advantage of people loving your brand, but also
hurting them,
getting beat up?
Hey,
even more
if
so
they wanted the check, then they were gonna do it. You know, if they enjoyed themselves and they liked Jackass and they wanted the check, they're gonna do it. I personally would have done. I might have done like 3 or 4 of those, but I wouldn't have done most of them. I'll tell you that. I wouldn't have done most of them. You won't catch me with no whelps and shit all over my body. That was crazy.
Yeah, definitely not any dick related.
No, there was way too much of it. Like there was a lot of that. I was hurting watching some of these things. A pogo stick on your balls, bro. That was ridiculous.
Beehive dick.
Now that was actually interesting. Now, while that was disgusting, and I'm like, why? Once I saw the beehive start to form, I was like, now this is something I've never seen, though. You know, like that scientifically, that was interesting. I've never seen a beehive begin to actually form and how they're doing that. And that was showing, like, that's how they do it. They find the queen is like the nucleus, and they build the entire thing. Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, it
was like it was alive.
Nanotech in Marvel, where it's all the fucking
Bro,
technology.
there's something to that. There's something to that. Was that not like nanotech? That was crazy.
Break down the science of bees.
That was crazy. Yeah, that was that was when I wasn't feeling at the first, and then I started looking like, holy shit, this is interesting. Like, yeah, he like was moving, and like the bee dick was just like moving too. But it was like all the bees like
water.
That was crazy. I thought he was gonna be getting stung way more than that.
Yeah.
Like again, I feel like they know something or they have some type of skill that they're using in order to not get hurt that bad. Because it's
look at
crazy.
Their faces, man. Like they're in pain.
No,
they just can tolerate it.
I don't know, man.
Maybe they
like it. It felt like they like pain. Everybody in there seems like
there's some. What do you call it? Masochist?
Sure, they're that for sure. It felt like it because even he was like, "Yeah, you want another sting?" She's like, "Yeah, I can take it. I can take one more."
Oh, the scorpion?
Yeah, like I'll take another hit of pain.
Yeah, she was great, honestly.
She
was funny. The mime one.
I was neutral on her. Wasn't stand out, but she was adding. You know what I mean? Like she was just like another character because she wasn't in that much to me.
That's true.
I feel like Jasper was the main new character because he was in pretty much most of them. Even if he wasn't doing it, he was just in it.
What they fucking forced his dad to do. That was fucked up.
With the spider?
Yeah.
Yeah, I also felt a little bit like awkward, like geez, like because they were like holding on his head. And he was scared. That felt like hazing. That was the one that felt like some hazing. Or like they were being assholes. That's what it actually felt like. They were just being assholes, and it's like, come on, y'all doing too much for the laugh.
Really on board with
it. I didn't feel like he wanted to do that.
That was probably his son being like, yeah, we gotta fuck with my dad. Or I think he said that.
Well, they took it far. I felt bad for the old guy.
Yeah.
That's all I got. That's all I got. You know, see it if you want to see it. If you're a fan of Jackass, you'll love it. Oh, another note. People were going crazy in that movie theater. They were screaming. They was yelling. They were jumping.
The first credits.
Literally, they were going bonkers. Chicks was laughing so hard. I'm like, girl, it wasn't even that funny.
Yeah, no.
Like, yeah.
I mean,
there was a lot of nostalgia happening in there.
Yeah.
A lot of nostalgia.
That's like, you know, what humanity's come to.
What, a wave of nostalgia, everything? Yeah, like that was crazy. That was a lot of nostalgia. They were going
like I have a feeling like
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, just even from tonight. Well, I already knew it was gonna be popular, but I think it's gonna be a hit. It might even
it's
top
already
Spider-Man.
a hit. No,
it's not gonna top
yeah,
Spider-Man.
not at all.
But I'm saying like
Because this doesn't have enough audience.
no. I'm saying like this weekend or the weekend that.
Oh
it's
yeah,
opening,
no,
it's
this is
gonna,
solid.
like,
This
it's gonna
can't.
be number one.
Nothing is gonna be able to beat Jackass.
Not even
Moonfall. Fucking Halle Berry. Come on, bro. Come on, Moonfall. I might see it eventually, but I'll probably see it eventually.
Yeah.
But I'm not excited. So yeah, shout out to Jackass. You know, shout out to Steve-O, Johnny Knoxville. They did a fun thing there. I like the movie.
Yeah.
I recommend it if you like Jackass. If you don't like Jackass, then maybe you don't want to see this one. If you don't like to watch people get hurt, you don't want to see this one. If you don't like watching people throw up, you don't want to see this one. If you don't like looking at dick, you don't want to see this one. Don't bring your kids to this. For everybody else, yeah.
Definitely don't.
You know?
Because they're gonna look
great
at
date movie. This is a great date movie.
They're gonna look at those
if you're
warnings,
18 plus,
and they're gonna be like, I want to do that.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was it. Jackass forever. And
it's gonna be forever.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Or if you don't want to risk, did you already say? Oh, okay. If you don't want to risk getting Omicron, then just fucking be nostalgic and watch it on YouTube or watch any other fucking.
We don't actually promote that. Go see it in theaters. We support movie theaters here on Hindsight, and we hope that they all thrive and survive and sponsor this show. So we're signing off on Hindsight, episode 7. Oh, dude! Oh, did you see that?
Yeah, right in the nuts, bro.
Oh, dude!